I'm like blush blind. Hello, my beautiful bookish friends. I'm so excited that you are back. I am finally doing my February TBR, and I am so excited about it because I am a part of 2 readathons that I know are going to be so much fun. One is called Once Upon a Valentine, and one is called X's and O's. And it's just going to be the best time because I am a romance girly through and through. I love romance books. It's one of my favorite genres, and so I cannot wait to get into all the books this month. And I have my TBR jar. I'm going to be choosing one book from my TBR jar because I have so many books I'm reading for these readathons that I cannot wait for, and they are books that I have been putting off for a while. One of which is Magnolia Parks. I know, hold the applause. But before we begin, I want to show you a few cute things that I have been gifted recently that I absolutely adore, and I just want to shout out to these people really quickly. First person that I want to shout out, I have been reading this Jessa Hastings book, Never, but I have been accompanied by this beautiful bookmark. I absolutely adore it. It is handmade by my friend Corinna. Look at how pretty. It's a little angel, and it's in memorial of my father, and I just love this bookmark so much. When I got it in the mail, I was just beyond like blown away that somebody would just still be thinking about me, still be thinking about my journey, still be caring about me in that way. And I just love you so much, Corinna. You are such a great friend. And this matches perfectly with the whole aesthetic of this book. It's whimsical, it's beautiful, so thank you so much, friend. The next gift that I got recently, and this has like been a little while back, but if I just could tell you how much I love this candle is Pride and Prejudice, and it smells amazing. It is vanilla, cardamom, and butter. Oh, it is so incredible. It is just Pride and Prejudice in a candle, and my friend Tammy sent this to me. And it was just such a great surprise. I'm so happy. Last but not least, if I could tell you there was one candle that completely matches my personality and my overall like inward aesthetic, it would be this candle. It is a French fry candle. Let me see if I can, okay, I had it the wrong way. It is a French fry candle, and it comes with this little tiny squeezy bottle on the wick. And it is just like my entire life because I love fast food. I really shouldn't, and I really hope I don't have heart problems, but I love fast food. And my best friend Megan, she got this for me, and I just absolutely love it. I just thought it was the cutest thing ever. She's never gonna watch this video. Megan, I love you. Thank you for my candle. This has like birthday video haul vibes. It's totally not. It's not my birthday, but my bestie Wendy, she got me this book for Christmas, and nobody is talking about this book unless I'm late to the game. And it just sounds so incredible, so I wanted to read it for you. My dying wish is for you to finish my bucket list. I refuse to die without knowing this will be completed, and I refuse to die without knowing my family will be okay. Basically, this girl, she has a globe-trotting influencer sister who travels around the world, and her sister passes away. Well, the other sister who is left finds this bucket list, which is designed by her sister, to all the places she wanted to travel before she died. And so her sister is going to go on a journey. And another thing is, because her sister was an influencer and she has like an Instagram account, she wants her sister to go on these trips and post about it. And like, it's kind of like a way for her to heal and to kind of like be with her sister in spirit. So I just thought this was such a cool idea. And if anything ever happened to me, I would do this for my besties. I would like make some type of amazing scavenger hunt type fun, whimsical thing for them to do in my absence. So I thought this was like just all the vibes. Now let's get to our amazing readathons. I have so many great friends who are doing amazing readathons. My friend Jordan Elaine here on BookTube, she has a Patreon called Girlies Who Read. She just dropped merch as well. And her readathon is Once Upon a Valentines, and I am so excited about it. I have one book in particular on this list that I've had on my TBR for such a long time, and let's talk about it. Match by Sarah Adams sounds like an incredible book. It is about this girl who, she works with service dogs, and so she tries to match up service dogs with people who need them. She meets this single dad who has a daughter who needs to be matched with a service dog, and so she is on it. And at first glance, she's like, oh my gosh, this single dad is so hot. He's so amazing. But his behavior and something that happens kind of turns her off. She gets the ick and she's immediately like, I went from loving you to like hating your guts and thinking you were awful. But as the book goes on, they get to spend more time together and something changes. He starts to look at her with this fire of desire, and it sounds like it's going to be a little bit of like a maybe enemies to lovers, slow burn. It's also closed door, which I really appreciate from Sarah. I always want to say Sarah J. Maas. I really appreciate that about her books. They are closed door and they're awesome. They're so funny, so quirky, and this is kind of like a romantic comedy. So I am very excited to get into this book. I love that she is getting so popular and redoing all of her covers, and I'm just like a huge Sarah Adams fan. Next book for this readathon I am so excited about is Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto. I have had this on my TBR for quite a while, and there's a huge reason. I absolutely love stringed instruments. I love the cello, I love the violin, I love it all. And so this is about two string musicians who I believe play the cello, and they're both fighting for first chair at this orchestra. So it's kind of like a rivals to lovers. Such a sweet story. When finally she gets an opportunity that he has always wanted, he has to come to terms with like, is he going to be against her? Is he going to help her? And their romance just kind of sizzles from there. And it just sounds like such a great, beautiful story. And I've heard lots of great things about this. So I cannot wait to give this a try. The next book that I'm going to try, I did not even read the back because I don't want to know. I don't want to spoil anything, but everybody knows about Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I'm actually reading Never. I'm reading this book that everybody hated. So far, I'm really loving it. So I have like really high hopes. I feel like her writing is very deep. But Magnolia Parks, I don't have the physical copy because my bestie's borrowing it, but I have heard like you love it or you hate it, which is what I really like to try books that people hate, because I found that everyone said they hated One Italian Summer by Rebecca Searle, and I freaking loved it. It was a 5-star read for me. So I feel like a rejected book by someone might just be someone's goal. I'm very excited. I've heard this is like Gossip Girl vibes, rich, toxic romance, trust fund kids. It reminds me of that song, I Don't Want Another Trust Fund Baby. Such a good song though. This next readathon I'm very excited for. My friend Gwen, she is amazing. Her name is Gwendolyn Kensinger here on BookTube, and my other amazing friend Jessie, and her name on BookTube is Reading with Jess. They are doing a collaborative readathon with some of their friends that I don't know super well, but I know they're really sweet, and I've linked them below as well. They're doing a collaboration readathon where they have different teams, like there's spice, there's sugar, and so I've decided to go on the sugar, and that is Team O, and I really just wanted to have some romances that were like not super spicy, but just super romantic and wonderful. And so for my first one on this list that I'm going to be choosing, this has such a backstory. Okay, so I had a video where I talked about not loving Courtney Walsh so much, but my very good friend Keisha absolutely adores her. It's like her favorite author. She like got on her computer and immediately sent me a book. It's coming very soon, and it is My Phony Valentine, and she says I cannot give up on this author until I try this book. She thinks it's going to be amazing. And I actually read the blurb. It sounds so good. It's about this girl who, her name is Poppy, which I love. I love the name Poppy. She is struggling. Her restaurant is failing. She has a lot of debt. And I don't exactly know what happened yet, but there's a circumstance where she needs a fake boyfriend. So she just grabs the first guy she sees, I guess, and pretends that it is her boyfriend. And he happens to be like a renowned famous hockey player named Dallas. So they're kind of like playing along in this little fake relationship game. Well, I guess they get in too deep. Dallas's grandmother says, well, this might be really good for your reputation, because he's kind of a bad boy and he has a bad reputation. He's a great athlete, but he's not like fan favorited because of his reputation. And she has a lot of issues, that she has debt. She has a lot of things that she needs help with in her life. They're gonna come together and fake date. But then, of course, she can't resist his amazing charm. Who could resist a hockey player? Like, come on. I'm so excited for this book, and it is my last attempt, 4 tries, for Courtney Walsh. And if I really like it, then she's redeemed herself and we can move on. The next book that I'm going to be reading for this X's and O's readathon is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This has been on my TBR for over a year, so I absolutely need to get to it, and I'm very excited. The prompt for this was to have the word sugar spelled in the cover. It totally does, so I cannot wait. Evelyn Hugo is the glamorous idol you admire, but she's also the relentless fighter you aspire to be. Her life story is heartbreaking yet beautiful, and it will keep readers captivated until the very last page. I know that she's like an iconic fashion Hollywood person, and I think that she lives a very scandalous lifestyle. It kind of reminds me of Vanity, and it's so funny because I've been talking about this book in several TBR videos, but I have not gotten to it yet. I'm very excited for this book, and it's going to be in my readathon. The next book that I'm going to be reading for this reading challenge for X's and O's is The No-Show, and this is by Beth O'Leary. I have never read anything from this author, but this premise sounds really good. This is the buddy read of the readathon, so everybody is going to kind of partake. And so this storyline follows 3 women who have all been stood up by the same man on Valentine's Day, and they all have separate situations. I guess they have somehow all let him back into their lives at different points, and they're all in danger, I guess, of falling in love with the same guy. And they're trying to figure out, like, is there more than meets the eye? Does he have more to offer? Like, what's happening? So it's kind of like a love square. Not a triangle, but there's so many people involved, okay? So it sounds really exciting. I think it's gonna be just a fun read, and it also like a crap show. So I'm here for it. Last and final book of the readathon is Savor It. And I'm very excited for this book because it literally has like all kinds of tropes. Like, there's just so much going on. It's a small town. It's like forced proximity. There are ex-lovers on the scene that are getting married. And so this one girl, her ex-boyfriend is getting married. She's devastated. There's a big cooking competition in the town. It's like an annual town. So there's like this cute small town, kind of like Stars Hollow, that has this big competition. So this girl wants to enter it because she needs a win. She's a chef and she wants to like win this thing, but she needs a partner. And so then there's another guy who's on the scene. He is grieving the loss of a sister. So there's grief involved, and he is the parental guardian of his niece. And so they come to town, to this small town. He owns a restaurant, and his restaurant just lost a Michelin star. Like, there's so much drama. And they come to this little town in forced proximity situations because they are neighbors. Things start to sizzle and things start to get in motion. And I just think it sounds like all the tropes that I would like. It's also set in summer, which I could really use right now because winter is killing me. So I'm very excited to try Savor It, and that is my last book for my readathon. Now comes the fun part. Now comes the even more exciting part. I am going to be doing a TBR jar pick, and I have my TBR jar right up there. I'm gonna grab it, and then I'm gonna grab only one because I'm already reading so many books for February, and February is like almost over. So I'm not going to like overload myself. I'm gonna grab my TBR jar, and we're gonna see what my pick is gonna be. I'm gonna to admire this adorable TBR jar that I got at Target. Of course, it's not a TBR jar, but I'm just using it as such. And it has some prompts in it, and I'm very excited. My prompt is my friend picks. I'm going to write my bestie Wendy and see if she can pick a good book for me, and I'm gonna send her some books on my physical TBR, but if there's nothing there she likes, she is going to show me a book that she really wants me to try. And I haven't bought a book in a minute, so I'm gonna buy a book if it's one I don't have. Wendy got back to me. This is her video, and this is the book that I'm going to be reading for my TBR jar pick for February.
Okay, I went back and forth, Leah. I did, because there's a couple I really want you to read, and you already know them, but I'm gonna ask you to read Queen of Shadows. You're welcome.
That's a wrap. These are all of the books that I'm so excited about, all the readathons that I'm a part of, and these books have been books I have been wanting to try for such a long time, and so I'm very excited. I hope that you have an incredible Valentine's Day season. I hope you know how much you are loved, and I hope that you're able to give some love into the world this Valentine's Day season. I hope that your books are amazing and your tea is delicious, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.